On Monday, April 15th of 2019, the ending of The Hunchback of Notre Dame was brought to life. A massive fire, seemingly caused by an electrical flaw, nearly destroyed the infamous cathedral. According to ABC News, the cathedral was a mere 15 to 30 minutes away from completely collapsing. Hi everyone, my name is Megan and welcome to my YouTube channel. It's called Real News. That sounds like a gross over-exaggeration of my actual goals for this channel. I'm just an opinionated person and I'd like to share some thoughts with some other opinionated people. I am by no means going to preach to you, nor will I ever claim to be a highly reputable news outlet. I just chose the name to poke some fun at the popular saying, fake news, by, a certain political figure. There's gonna be a couple of YouTube videos on that particular figure. But in this era of fake news and internet propaganda and just everyone sharing their minds, I want to foster, educated, healthy, and productive discussions. Because this video does touch on religion, I do just want to start with a preface that I do identify as Christian. I'm by no means an avid churchgoer. I don't necessarily believe that the Bible is the literal word of God, but when it's Christmas time, I'm definitely getting jolly. I also just want to add that I don't have any strong argumentative feelings towards the Notre Dame fire, but I definitely respect and acknowledge any grief that might be associated with it. By now, most of us are familiar with Monday's events. To summarize, the fire diminished one of Paris's most breathtaking tourist attractions. Although almost all of the cathedral's treasured relics were saved, hundreds of hearts are still broken. The before and after pictures of the cathedral are nothing less than crushing. This building, which stands to many as a beacon of God's almighty presence, was almost completely obliterated. Yes, there was some aspect of clickbait to my title. The question we're faced with isn't, should we care? This significant monument was destroyed, we're allowed to mourn, and we're allowed to plan for its immediate reconstruction. The question we should be asking, though, is how much should we care? In my opinion, Notre Dame should absolutely be rebuilt for its historical and symbolic significance, not to mention the fact that it's a tourist attraction, which I'm sure helps the economy of Paris to some extent. However, I certainly think it's important to note the irony, and to be frank, the hypocrisy of individuals donating millions of dollars to rebuild a monument in honor of a God who preaches taking care of others. To my knowledge, Jesus never praised such material things, but I do know that he stressed to love thy neighbor. One person under the screen name of Mar took to social media saying, "I know that Notre Dame is a very important landmark, but the fact that billionaires have pledged over $600 million in under 24 hours to help fix it just really puts into perspective how easily rich people could help solve world issues if they cared." Although I think these donors are doing something good, I do agree with the previous statement. We live in a world where gay people are being stoned to death in Brunei. Children are dying of disease, men and women are dying of poverty. I think that we care about what the media tells us to care about. Hundreds of social media users posted their pictures outside of Notre Dame, but it's not a social media trend to discuss many of the other pressing issues we're facing. This type of irony was addressed on GoFundMe. According to NBC News, burned black churches in Louisiana have raised $1.3 million after the Notre Dame fire. But this does raise another important issue. Notre Dame lives on an infamy, its reconstruction is surely inevitable. But that's not the case for places of worship that don't double as tourist attractions. Approximately $1 billion has already been raised to bring Notre Dame back to its former glory, and one man alone donated $113 million. Reportedly, rebuilding has already started. I think that we should either be passionate about restoring all damaged churches or no damaged churches. We can't cherry pick which cases we will and will not care about. And I understand that we can't get this information quickly for the smaller churches. And I understand that the Notre Dame news is covered, so obviously more people know about it, so obviously more people will donate. I'm not blaming anyone for not helping more churches or other places of worship. I just think that we as Christians and as people need to do better prioritizing what we think does and does not matter. $113 million from one person alone, it's great. You can't take away from that. He's donating his money. That's certainly something that is praised in the Bible. But just think about everything else that could have been done with that money. Notre Dame is and was a significant building that will live on in infamy, but I think a lot of people, specifically on social media, are losing sight of the fact that it is just that. It's a building. It is a building that deserves our attention and our respect, but does it deserve all of our attention and all of our money and all of our resources? I don't think so. The fact that the cathedral was damaged in the first place is certainly a tragedy, but I think that the fact that the relics and artifacts were saved is a sign of hope. I'm by no means criticizing anyone who has donated or had a reaction to this. I think that is important. I just think we should focus on other things too. Donating to and only caring about certain places of worship is hypocritical. Mosques, temples, churches, and other places of worship are damaged all the time. And maybe Notre Dame could be a positive, maybe now we'll start caring about it more. But I don't think that we should be able to only care about Notre Dame. But yeah, that was just my take on everything. But obviously, you know, your opinion is just as valid as mine or anyone else's. So let me know what you think. If you agreed with me, disagreed, anything like that, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. And I do just want to reiterate that this is my first YouTube video ever. So if you like what I'm doing here, I would love it if you hit the subscribe button. It'll only take a second, and if you hate me later, you can unsubscribe. I would just be so excited if you decided to go on this YouTube journey with me. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm gonna, you know, shoot for posting a couple of times a week. I definitely want to make some videos about Brett Kavanaugh. I want to discuss the recent most influential people list and Trump and so much. So hit that subscribe button if you want to just see where this goes. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please let me know what you think, and I'll see ya!